And whatsoever you shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechak Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And as always, peace and blessings to the elect. All right, just came across an article, all right, which was very interesting, and I'm going to leave it in the description box. I'll leave the link to it so you can go and read it. And hey man, as we've been saying over and over again, okay, this devil, all right, as a matter of fact, as it is written, okay, which I have here, we're gonna start off there in Revelation 12, that this devil is coming down with great wrath, and they are coming. All right, boy, are they on their way, man. Okay, and you know, you have people who fell for the trap of 1 Thessalonians 5:3. All right, they fell for that peace and safety. All right, but what you need to understand is these devils, all right, do you think that these devils set up this whole thing just so that they could just not accomplish anything and just go back to normal? Absolutely not. Okay, there's always an agenda and there's always a motive, okay, in which they're coming with. Okay, and as they go around, see, they had, you know, as they brought out the quote unquote statistics, you know, saying, well, this group, within this age group, we're trying to get this many people, this percent bitten. That's the new thing that I'm gonna use. All right, they've been bitten, okay, and so they're trying to you know, have people get bitten. They're trying to bite them. All right, they're trying to, you know, and there's different percent ranges for different age groups, as you're gonna see in this article. All right, and what I'll do is I'll sort of sum up what the article is talking about, you know, to the best of my ability. Because you know how YouTube is, you know, you even read the article and they're already coming after you. So what I'll do is I'll put the link to the article in the description, and then you can watch that, you know, read that, you know, through. All right, but basically what you have going on with this new DV, standing for Delta variant, all right, it's sort of that new threat. But if you're paying attention, you can see that they're sort of, you know, of course they're bringing it, but there's an angle that's slightly different this time. Okay, now we mentioned this before, how the first time around, there were introductory measures. All right, as draconian as they may seem, there were introductory measures that what they did was they introduced these measures. All right, they basically introduced a form of medical martial law. All right. And, you know, they didn't take it all the way. And as we can see, it's making more sense, the reason why, because they need to first test the waters. You know, like the boiling frog method. All right. These elites, they move through gradualism, which we tell you time and time again. And they weren't just going to throw the people into hot water. OK, so what they had to do was test it out. OK, well, will they allow us to introduce measures like this? Will they allow us to do? And then they see that it works. Okay, well, guess what? This time, obviously, they're not going to come with propaganda that was on the same level as last time, because people are not falling for that anymore. They've already pulled that one. They can use the same method, but with upped propaganda, with upped, you know, stuff, and then start to really target, okay, those which they can separate and deem as an enemy to the state, an enemy to the New World Order. All right, those that refuse to follow the recommendations and the guidelines. Okay, and so let me start off with this. This is the book of Revelation 12 and 12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And that's exactly why they're having these talks up in there in France. All right, so now let me actually see if I could pick out a few parts, okay, in this. All right, so the first paragraph here says, the French Senate is considering implementing obligatory bites, all right, for those aged 24 to 59 to help the country weather the anticipated next spike, all right, of infections in what would be a fourth wave of cases. All right, cases. So what they're pushing now is, well, we know how bad this can get. We've seen what it's like. And when we remember, if you paid attention last year, it was sort of like, oh, this is new, and we're sort of trying to see how we can go about it, what works with this, what doesn't work. And now they can use that and say, well, we've experienced it before, and we know how bad it can get if we don't do this, if we don't do that, right? They can say, well, back then we didn't have the bites that we have now. You know, they can say, well, back then, you know, we didn't know the things we know about it now. So what they can say is, well, now, in order to prevent something like that again, we need to do this, we need to do that. Because, see, back then, last year, they could have said, well, we could try to make it obligatory to get bitten, but then you could say, well, no, I don't want to. What you mean? You know, you can't do that. But now, based on the basis of not having to go through another lockdown, all right, not having to endure what people endured last year, they can move on that basis and say, well, we should make it obligatory because we don't want to go through what we went through last year. You know, we don't want to go through what we've previously gone through. So as you're seeing in France, the Senate is talking about this now. If they pass this, all right, this ain't going to be, oh, well, I try to go into the store and then the store themselves told me that I can't come in. Or I tried to go to work and my job says that I can't come in. No, this is going to be something where it's not, if you're not bitten, you can't come in. It's, you have to get bitten. All right. You got to take that bite. You got to, you got to let them do what they got to do. Okay. And so as we read in the book of Revelation 12:12, the devil is going to come on to you having great wrath. Now, when they come in great wrath, knowing they have a short time, that means that, as they go gradually, eventually, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, look, cover the top of the pot while the frog is in there and then turn the heat up. Because what's going to happen then? You ain't going nowhere. If the top of the pot is uncovered, the frog could jump out. Right? But we don't got time to keep turning it up slowly. All right, we're almost at boiling point. Cover the top and just turn it up all the way. And that's what they're going to do. And they're not going to regard how it comes off because they're running out of time. And they know that. They know Yahushua and the angels are coming down. They see the elect waking up and getting stronger, that exceeding great army. And that's putting fear in them. Okay? And so they're like, we have to move. So don't be surprised when these the tactics that this devil comes in full force and in succession, one after the other. And it's almost like it's not stopping because they're coming down with great wrath. They're coming down full force. All right. And, this great spirit that the Lord gave us, you should have been utilizing it correctly. All right. Preparing your minds. Okay. Understanding and being rooted in this truth. Okay. Not for clout or for show or, for any of that. Because when all hell breaks loose, or when this devil comes after us, as it says in 2nd Ezra 16 about the great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, it's not going to be your how many subscribers you have or, how well you're known. Okay. It's going to be the spirit and the faith of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, or the faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that's going to be able to deliver us, as a matter of fact. All right, let's go to the book of Revelation. And what they're also saying is the convenience of being able to just go and get a test. Because, when you try to travel, they'll tell you, oh, well, you got to show a result of a test. Well, usually tests are free, but they're saying, well, now we want to make the bite obligatory, but then we want to take away the test, the free tests. So if you want to go somewhere, and if you get lucky and they say, okay, you know what, we'll just take a test, now you have to go pay for that. For something you don't want to get done on you, you got to go pay for it now just so you can get somewhere. The restrictions are going to be completely unreasonable. All right, they're going to bring because how do they usually go? Well, they start off with incentives, positive reinforcement, but then you also have negative reinforcement. So incentives don't work, then consequences. You see? So start first, tell them, use fear. Okay, get as far as you can with that. Okay, now what? All right, bring some positive reinforcement, bring some incentives. All right, this is what happens, and then you get a little bit more people. And then there's those knuckleheads. The tough ones, they just don't want to give in. So bring the consequences. See? Fear is greater than, the control fear has is greater than the control love has. Because when you threaten somebody, all right, if you tell somebody do this and I'll give you this, they may be motivated to do it. But if you tell somebody do this or I'll kill you, that's a different kind of motivation right there. So they're bringing out those consequences. All right, you know what? Forget the free test. Forget all that. Look, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen, and your life is going to our lives are going to become very, very uncomfortable. You know, you don't have it, you could be arrested. It's a crime now. You know, you're putting public health at risk because see, take a gunman for an example. A gunman is dangerous. Why? Because if he has a gun, he can put somebody's life at risk. He can kill somebody. So he's a threat with that gun in his hand. He's a threat to the health or the safety of those that are around. And that's why he can get arrested, right? Now, say they take you for an example and they say, well, now you're a threat because your actions can put the health or the life of others at risk. Okay? And because of that, we made laws to make sure that you don't get to just go around and do that. And if you don't want to follow those laws, guess what? We're going to throw you somewhere where you don't have to follow those laws. We're going to isolate you. Okay? And as Fauci said, Riki Tiki Fauci, he said there's a bitten America and an unbitten America. And that's going to cause that great divide. But what do you think they're going to start doing because eventually people are going to break. Oh, yeah, people are going to break. And when the majority becomes those that are bitten and the minority becomes us, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to start rounding people up. All right, the Lord did tell us. Because number one, they're already looking for a reason to come after us. All right, because of what we believe in, because of us standing for the truth. But then number two, guess what? They this is a double on top of that. This is why these guys are dangerous. They're promoting, dangerous, ideas and ideals into people's minds. Meanwhile, you have others that are doing the same thing, but they're not the real concern, right? So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. And this is the reason why we do these videos and we constantly warn, but we also exhort. And we tell you that, look, these things are coming, but, the same Lord, the same way we found out that these things are going to happen, that's the same power told us we're going to be delivered. All right. So we don't have anything to worry about. We don't have to fear. So long as you fear the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name, all right, and his son, Yahushai, then you're good. All right. Because when we see these articles and we see these things, if you pay close attention, we don't bug out when we see these things. We don't lose our minds. We don't get scared. All right. If anything, you'll see brothers rejoicing. And you might sit back and wonder and say, wait, time out, hold on. You're talking about them coming to make your life difficult. You're talking about them coming to persecute you. You're talking about them coming to frame you and throw some of you in prison and behead some of you. You're talking about them making it so you can't do anything. You might end up in a concentration camp. You're talking about them doing that to you, but wait, you're excited about that? Wait, hold on. You sound happy. You don't sound scared. What's going on there, buddy? And people might not understand, but guess what? I mean, would it change anything if I was upset? Would it change anything if I was scared? Would it change anything if I didn't want to talk about it? No, it wouldn't, because it's supposed to happen anyway. And we rejoice because the Lord did say that these things would happen to us, and he said he would deliver us from it. So why should we be worried about it? We know it has to happen, but we know the Lord said he got our backs. Even if we have to be martyrs, there's a way that the Lord is going to give us through that, okay, where we're going to be able to go through it. And at the end of the day, guess what? The sooner it comes, the sooner we get it over with, and then the sooner the reward comes right after. So why are we afraid? We cannot get to what we truly want without going through this. And we really want what we really want, and that's the kingdom. And we really, really, really want that. All right, we want Yahushua to come back. All right, we desire that. Okay, that anybody who sincerely believes in this truth, your number one thing, your bread and butter, your life, what you think of at the forefront, ultimately is getting delivered from this captivity, all right, and getting that reward that the Lord is going to give us. Why do you think brothers go so hard? Why do you think elders go so hard? You got elders with gray hairs, full on white hairs, and they're still going hard. Why do you think that is? Because what we want, we know what we want, and we want it bad. But the thing is, in order to get to that, we have to go through this. And in order to get to this, we have to wait until this comes. You see, until the persecution comes, until the hour of temptation comes. So when we see the hour of temptation coming closer, or we see the persecution coming closer, or the hard times coming closer, we don't get scared. We run to it, because guess what? It's like a door. And until we go through that door, we're not getting any closer to the kingdom. That if we never go through what needs to come, there's no shortcut. There's no alternate route. We have to go straight through the middle. All right. And so the sooner we get there, the sooner we get past it. The sooner we get past it, the sooner we get what we really want. Okay. So as the Lord said in Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. All right. So some of us are going to be thrown into prison, but guess what? Peter was thrown into prison. Paul was thrown into prison. Jeremiah was thrown into they put him in the stocks. All right. Daniel was thrown into a lion's den. Hell, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into a fiery furnace. Okay. So, I mean, all right. What's the big deal? It's happened. But out of all those individuals that I mentioned, how did it turn out for them? It turned out well, because the Lord was with them and they got delivered. All right. So what is being thrown into prison? Why should that scare you? The Most High is in control. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is in control. Okay. So it says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Because you're going to have certain individuals that are going to say, this is not me. I was a good boy. I don't even have a track record. I don't have any of that. And here I am. They're going to lose it. Here I am. I'm in prison. Oh, my gosh. I'm with inmates. I am an inmate. I'm an inmate. I'm in prison. My mom, my family, what are they going to think of me? And then all of a sudden you turn around and you look at this guy. You're like, wait, hold up. Oh, he's bugging out. And you're like, wait, tell me, this is the same. Wasn't he just out there prophesying all hard? Yeah, we got to go through this. And bring it on, man. When you bring it, we're going to do this, and then you're going to have that. And that's why we have to pray, all right, to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that doesn't happen to us. That instead, we end up like the apostles, okay? Let's see if I could pull this up. We end up like the apostles who rejoiced, all right? let's see if I can find. Let's see, worthy. Suffer. All right, and your faith gets stronger. There we go. Acts 5:41, and let's actually start at 40, or 38. Now, this is when the apostles, were brought, and the Sanhedrin had gathered together to basically have a council on what they should do to the apostles, and really they wanted to kill them. They wanted to do harm to them. But Gamaliel, all right, one of the elders, the doctors in the law, all right, got up, and this is what he said. All right, now this is the book of Acts 5:38. It says, "And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against God." And to him they agreed. And when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahushua, and let them go. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing. They weren't losing it. They weren't crying, "Oh, Lord, my God, my back. Damn, he hit my spine. Oh, my tailbone. My kneecaps, my shins." They weren't complaining about that. It says they were what? Rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name. And what did that do? And daily in the temple and in every house, they ceased not to teach and preach Yahushua HaMashiach. So that motivated them to go even harder. Why? Because they like it says here, they rejoiced that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for the name of the Lord. And so when we go through these things, those that are of the Lord's elect, your faith is going to go up, because you're going to be rejoicing. Oh man, the Lord did say, if these things happen to me, I'm blessed. That means I'm on the right path. It's almost like a sign, that you're doing good, man. So hey, going back to the article, all right, which, like I said, I didn't really read it, but you can read it. It's in the description. This is just, it starts off as talks and stuff, but that's just how they introduce it. All right. But guess what? We're in the midst of a great transition. And it's going to be a very fast transition, because it's going to be a transition into the New World Order, and then a transition out of the New World Order, and then a transition into the kingdom. And it's going to happen fast. Okay? It's going to happen fast, because really we're in the New World Order, but they're trying to complete it. But what do we know about when they try to do that? Read Job 20. Okay? The Lord is going to stop them. Okay? He's going to put the brakes on them and then beat the brakes off them. Okay, so, I mean, hey, them discussing these things and them trying to come with this and come with that, and from this angle and that angle and this, guess what? It's all like somebody who's constantly, when, you have a fight between two people, and you got this individual that, he's constantly doing like a fake feint, he's just trying to test you, and he's never throwing any punches. And then the one time he actually throws a punch, he just gets knocked out. And that's what's going to happen to Esau. He every now and then he throw us in the media. He'll do this. He'll come here. He'll come from this angle. He'll come from here. Then he'll stop. Then he'll go around, and he'll turn around and come here. And then the one time he's like, all right, he finally throws something, the Lord's going to counter and check his ass so fast and so bad, all right, that his whole kingdom is going to crumble. All right. So, hey, man, now's the time, all right, to grow, to increase in the faith. And as we see these prophecies coming to pass, man, rejoice. Because as the scriptures say, our salvation is nearer than when we believed. And we have to go through these things, but fear not, all right, because the Lord is going to deliver us from it. All right. So with that, I'm going to end it here. All right, Lord willing, you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.